However, while photo voice clearly has its benefits, it is essential to remember that this, along with many other participatory approaches, should be carefully utilized. Aside from the typical ethical considerations, we must also consider other factors such as the relationships between the researchers and participants, and this includes matters such as power dynamics. This has actually been one of the issues present in Sandlin, Quiroga, and Hammeron's research. The purpose of the research was to understand the reality of a specific society through the eyes of its youth, especially since they stated that the youth is a sector commonly overlooked or ignored. Because of this, they adapted the photo voice method, where the youth were given a chance to express themselves and their reality through photographs that they'd take. These photographs will then be narrowed down and displayed in a public exhibit. While the research had a good goal, things started to get difficult during the research process itself. Sandlin admits that during the process they were not able to consider factors that affected not just the process, but also the product. One of these is the obvious power dynamics between the researchers and the participants. These dynamics are not necessarily limited to just the established authority of the researcher, but also other things such as educational attainment. The researchers, since they were part of the academe, were more knowledgeable compared to the participants who were the youth. Moreover, these researchers were professionals and had respective disciplines. Sandlin states that this heavily impacted the process, especially since they had disciplinary standards that they wanted the data to meet. The researchers were too focused on the objectivity of the data, which were the photographs, while participants viewed this as a means to express themselves and their reality, especially since this is how the researchers framed photography. Because of this difference, the researchers experienced frustration, disappointment, and in turn would guide participants to the path that they wanted. While it is a given that guidance is necessary, the main goal of the research was to view reality through the eyes of the youth, and constant interference will generate questions of whether or not the data is authentic. Furthermore, the researchers failed to negotiate and solve these dilemmas and were unable to deeply engage with the youth and gather more insights. Sandlin even admits that while the project was supposedly participatory, the youth were not even able to participate in the narrowing down of the final photos for the actual exhibit. Sandlin and her colleagues were well aware of these shortcomings and stated that if they just resisted mastery, the final product may have been quite different and might not have caused the uncertainty and disappointment of the researchers.
Created using Powtoon.